Okay, let's look at chapter 5, question 5. The skill is writing an expression from a worded problem. So for each of the following expressions, we'll do 8 of them today just to give you an example. Question 5a says 7 more than y. We need to write an expression for that. Now, the expression could just be a term, and in this case, it is just a term. Okay, so 7 more than y. We've got the coefficient 7 there. We've got the pronumeral y, and we have a clue as to which operation we need to use between the two. So more than indicates that we're going to be using a positive, an addition symbol here. So 7 more than y is really saying y plus 7. Or you could write it 7 plus y. It really doesn't matter when you're adding those two things together. The order doesn't matter in this case. Let's look at chapter 5a, question 5b. 3 less than x. So 3 is our pronumeral, and x is our pronumeral, and 3 is our number. Okay, 3 less than x would be x minus 3. In this case, the clue was less than, and that gives us an idea of which operation we're going to use, and that's a subtraction. Could we write 3 minus x and still have it correct? No, we couldn't, because if the value of x was 4, then let's substitute the value of 4 in for x. 4 minus 3 equals 1, and then 3 minus 4 would give us a completely different answer. So the values would be different, and it really makes it important to make sure you've got the correct order. So in this case, the answer is x minus 3. C, the sum of A and B. Well, we did this one in the last video. So the sum is the clue. That means we're using a positive. So A plus B. Okay. Note that an expression is not an equation. It doesn't have to have an equal sign. You don't need to solve for it. Okay. In this chapter, we're only looking at how to write expressions. So you will not have to solve these questions yet. That will come in a later chapter. D, the product of 4 and P. Product means what? It means multiplication. So the product of 4 and P is 4 times P, or just 4P. E, half of Q is subtracted from 4. So here we've been given the clue subtraction. The answer there, or there's another clue here, half. Okay, when we're looking at half of something, we're going to be dividing. Okay, dividing by how much? Well, half is 2. So that would be 4 minus Q divided by 2. Half of Q is subtracted from 4. So the order of that expression is really important. You can't have Q divided by 2 minus 4, because that will give you a completely different answer. So look at your question and the way it's written before you go ahead and answer it. 1/3 of R, the pronumeral R, is added to 10. Here we have a clue, and here we have a clue. 1/3 means something over 3. Okay, so we're going to put R over 3, and then we're going to add to 10. So 10 plus R over 3, or because it's an addition, we could do R over 3 plus 10. The answer would be exactly the same. G, the sum of B and C multiplied by 2. So the clue here is sum. We're going to add them together. B and C added together. B plus C multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2. I'm going to put a bracket around that, okay, because I have to do that step first before multiplying. That's what it's telling me, okay. Or we could write it like this: 2 bracket B plus C. H, the sum of B and twice the value of C. So sum meaning addition, so I'm going to add B to something. And twice the value of C, well, that just means 2 times C. Or I could write it like this, 2C plus B. And this is the more correct version. This one here would also be the most correct version. I hope that helps.